All right. Welcome to the Weekend Warriors. Oliver, man, good to have you. This show every day, or not every day, every week, for college football and NFL. Me and Oliver will be the host. It is the Weekend Warrior Show. We cover NFL on the weekend and college football on the weekend. We give you four games in each sport, college football and NFL, that we think that we could bring value to you in. So, hope you guys are locked in for this. It's always going to be a pre-recorded show, and you can always find it on our channel at the Outlet SV on YouTube. And I'm probably going to be trying to upload the show to the website as well. Um, Oliver, you ready to jump into this, man?
Yeah, man. Let's get it. It's what we've been waiting on. NFL Week 1. It's
It's
time.
here, baby. All right. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We got so the first game me and Oliver are going to bring to y'all is a game that we see a lot of people are probably not going to want to talk about, but definitely holds value. The line is pretty funky if you ask me. This is going to be the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. So Oliver, we got this line at a 3.5 here for Carolina. We're getting 3.5 points. Carolina's on the road here. It's at a plus 160 on the money line. The Saints are at a minus 3.5. They're opening it up at a minus 192 on the money line. And we got a total of 41.5 favored to the under in this game. Now, the game opened up at a -4 in favor of the Saints here. And the line has moved just a point down in favor of Carolina. So it's kind of weird that the line opened up in favor of the Saints by only 4 points to begin with. So it's really got me, you know, looking at this line, think like scratching my head on, all right, why are we getting the Panthers at, such a low number here? And, I know you have your reasons why about this, and I kind of agree with you. I think this is going to be a Panther spot. I know it's hard not to trust them. Um, but we also got to look like I like what the Panthers have going on, man. Deontay Johnson is probably going to be a good look here. He always balls out on the road. We know that. So you also got to worry about Adam Thielen in this game. I mean, you got Hubbard. I mean, there's the Panthers could make noise here, and them opening up this line the way it is what really has me looking towards the Panthers. As you guys see in the background, I am a Panthers fan. It's not easy to say. This team has been terrible the last couple years, and they're going to be terrible again this year. That's without a doubt. But when you see a low line like this on opening day, and you got guys on the Saints that have big hype around them, like Olave, you got Kamara. I mean, these guys got hype around them this year, and when you see a line open up at a 3.5 for the Saints, it's going to be a public play this week. It's going to be a public play this weekend, and honestly, I think we take the underdog in the points here, Oliver.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Like, think about it. Week 1, you're in the Superdome. I mean, you were 2-15 last year. Like, another terrible season. Bryce Young, it was all disappointing. But you got to look at some of the off-season moves that got made. I know you were talking about Hubbard. I think the biggest acquisition that got made, you got to talk about Deontay Johnson over there with the Panthers. And Thielen's kind of been one of those guys and whatnot, but Deontay Johnson is a 100 reception type receiver, and he did his thing with the Steelers, and now he's over there with the Panthers. I think that makes a big difference for him. Obviously, I know we both like the spread here, and I think this money line sprinkle with the Panthers is not a bad thing. I'm actually even seeing it at a +4 now, so you're starting to see some of that money coming in on the Saints. Also, you getting Deontay Johnson's receptions over 4.5 at a -130. Come on, dude. Like Bryce is gonna like. I just think we're gonna see a big bounce back here for Bryce. So yeah, I think that Deontay Johnson over the 4.5 at a -130, and then the fact of also take that Panther spread, do what you do, and get you some good money there. But I think the Panthers come out here with something to say.
All right, I love it, man. So you're going to go with Deontay Johnson's receptions here for your prop.
Yes,
We're
sir.
I love it. So we're both even here on the spread. We both like the spread here. It looks like just a logical call for me in this one. Honestly, I think it's not a bad call. The line is speaking to me a lot in this game, and it's not just because I like the Panthers. I mean, I know the Carolina is counting on Bryce Young to have a big jump in production year, and I can see it. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I mean, the running back room is not great in my opinion. And they really need Deontay Johnson to step up and help the receiving room, bro. Like they really need that. And I think he's going to. I think he fits the role. I think he fits the shoes just fine. So I also want to give out something on Deontay Johnson. I think he's going to be the star of this game. I want him as a touchdown at plus money here at 250. So I like Deontay Johnson to find the end zone, man, at plus 250. I also don't want to fade away from any Saints props here. Uh, we're getting Hill at let me see here. Uh, at 15 and a half rushing yards. How do you feel about that, bro?
I like that because they're gonna utilize him in many different ways.
They're going to have to.
They're gonna have to.
All right, so we're getting him at I mean, I can honestly see him going 25 plus, bro. On rushing yards. So the 15 and a half looks lovely for me for Hill. So give me Hill here over 15 and a half rushing yards. I don't think that's a bad look at all. Like I said, I would feel comfortable. You guys can get 25 plus for Hill at 220. I don't think that's bad at all. So give me Taysom Hill here, rushing yards, 25 plus 220, and take his regular line at 15 and a half, uh, at a minus 110. All
And
right.
also, one more thing to add in too.
Yeah.
Panthers got the new coach, Dave Canales. He was the Buccaneers offensive coordinator last year. So, getting his first shot at having a head role, bringing some new life in there with a different offensive scheme and whatnot. So, and then also week one, your divisional dogs are very profitable for years on top of years. So that was also one reason why we wanted to talk to y'all about this game. Like I think almost I have to really go back and look, but I think it was literally like 65% clip that the dogs hit in the divisional games in week one. So do what you want with that information.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That is absolute that's just crazy numbers, man. So I think that is a really good look, man, to another reason why we should really be digging into, just different ways to attack these games. I mean you hit it on the nose there. The divisional games are definitely well worth taking looks into, man, and we're not gonna fade away from them. So let's look at the next game we got, man. We got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Buffalo Bills for our second game in the NFL this weekend. We're getting a pretty nice spread here. We're getting the Cardinals at a plus 6.5. At plus 6.5 here on the road, and we got the Bills at a minus 6.5 home favorite. We got a total of 47, and it's locked up on both sides here. So this game, it opened up at a 6. We're not seeing as much movement in this as I thought we would. Um, the movement is kind of coming in, not even really on the total. The total opened up at a 48 and a half. It's now down to a 47 even. So this ain't the easiest game on the board, but I do think this is going to be a Bill spot, Oliver. I think the Cardinals are going to be better this season. Yes, they are going to be better this season, but that isn't going to exactly happen in their first game against the Buffalo Bills, bro. I mean, it's just not. Even without Diggs, the Bills' offense is going to have no problems moving the ball. I feel like Allen is going. Bro, Allen is going to probably go back for MVP, bro. Kyler Murray is going to have probably a huge game here. I'm looking for him to have a huge season. But the Arizona defense, I don't think they're going to really threaten the offense too much here for the Bills. The Bills offense is probably going to have a field day in this game. So I'm really thinking the Bills spread here or the Bills team total in this one. Um, I don't we didn't really talk about this game before the before it started. Um, but here's another game where I think maybe we should look at the quarterbacks. We should look at least rushing yards here for Josh Allen, right? I mean, this could be an easy spot for us to pick up uh rushing yards for Allen, or even look at a couple of his receivers in this game. I just think that the Buffalo offense is going to be too much for the Cardinals here. I think they cover this spread. Probably even in the first half, they cover this spread. So I like the Buffalo Bills here. I like their team total, and I like them to cover the 6.5 here. I also like Josh Allen for his rushing yards over 29.5 in this game.
All right, all right. Definitely hit some valid points there. I think if you want to mess with the Bills potentially, maybe it's a first half situation because I'm just saying that number looks weird. Now I know obviously it was a bigger number like way earlier, but I just think that 6.5 could be tricky. But one thing that's really sticking out to me for this game, James Conner to score a touchdown is at a plus 140. We know he's a touchdown machine, and if they get down there in the goal line, they will happily feed that man the ball. So I think James Conner to score a touchdown at a plus 140 for the Cardinals, definitely a good look. You are on the road in this one. And then another sneaky look to me, obviously we know Marvin Harrison Jr. is the receiver. It's going to be the number one, whatnot. But last year, Kyler Murray, I know he was hurting everything. A receiver that really made some noise from Stanford, Michael Wilson with the Cardinals. They have his prop at 2.5 catches to the over at a minus 112. I think that's a real sneaky look because everybody's going to be Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, thinking of those guys. And I think on the sneak, Michael Wilson could probably go out there and get you 3 catches and you'd be good. So that's what I like in this one. Like I said, I think if I mess with the Bills, it'd probably be early. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Cardinals come with some fight. You got a great young coach. Even last year he still showed some promise with all the injuries and stuff that happened. So, he was with the Eagles and now he's been there with the Cardinals. This will be his second year. But I think the Cardinals might be on the up and up. So maybe a sneaky team to keep your eyes on this year.
I love it, man. I love it, dude. I think you hit some valid points as well here. It's not an easy game to cap at all. Most people would love. That's why I love your look so much, man. Because most people would do what I did and just go right to the Bills, like right away. And sometimes, man, we know the NFL is not all chalked up that way, especially not anymore. So I love the looks that you gave, man. Definitely. All right. Looks like our next game that we have on the list here. We're going to be looking into the Colts playing the Texans here. So in this game, we got the Colts coming in as a. Let me see. I gotta find it. So we got the Colts coming in as a plus 124 here on the money line as a home dog. They're getting 3 points in this game, where you got the Texans laying 3 points. Looks like we got a total of 48.5 in this game. This is another game that really does kind of light up with me about the spread here. I am kind of liking the Colts in this spot. This ain't the easiest game on the board neither, but I think this is going to be a fun game for us to try to cover today. There is a possibility for a lot of props in this game that we could attack. I'm really thinking about just going with the dog here, the home dog, man. The Colts got a lot going on this year. I don't think they're going to be great, but I don't think they're going to be terrible neither. I think you could find a decent amount of value rocking with the Colts this year. You just got to find their spots. And honestly, an opening home game could be one of them. A lot of people are probably going to run to the Texans in this spot. It looks like a really good price for the Texans. The line opened up at a 2.5, by the way. Oliver. The line opened up at a 2.5 here. And like I said, I know it looks really good with the Texans here, but something's telling me with this line, man, Jonathan Taylor is going to have something to say about this. He has also scored the first touchdown in five of his last 6 games. Jonathan Taylor has scored the first touchdown. He's also scored at least one touchdown in 7 of his last 8 games. So we know what this man did last year. He's recorded 104 rushing yards and receiving yards in each of his last 3 home games against the AFC. I am all over Jonathan Taylor in this game, bro. I see no way not to. If the Colts want to do anything, I think they're going to be coming with Jonathan Taylor in this game heavy. He's recorded 75 or more receiving yards in his last 5 games at home. So I think Jonathan Taylor is the way I'm going to attack this game, bro. I'm going to take his rushing yards over and I think I'm going to go with the Colts on the money line here at plus 124. I'm really interested to see how the Colts open up this game, man, and how they do this, man, because Anthony Richardson is healthy this time, and I think this guy is going to bring incredible playmaking ability to this team, bro. So I'm interested to see how he does healthy, what he's going to do. Pittman Jr., bro, is always a threat in my opinion. He also got what Downs. I'm interested to see what kind of noise the Colts open up this year with, man.
Oh yeah, because it was so many expectations last year with Richardson being there, and to kind of get into it, this is another divisional game, right? So AFC South battle here, so another reason to like the dog. And then also you talking about Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I was looking at Anthony Richardson to score a touchdown in this game too. That's a plus 100. You getting Jonathan Taylor at a minus 112 just to score anytime TD. And if you want to mess with that first TD like you were talking about, plus 550. Plus 550 for Jonathan Taylor to score first TD of the game. So you definitely might have dropped a little gem there. And even if you want to mess with Richardson for that too, it's a plus 800. So another thing to look at too, kind of, get to looking at rushing yards and everything. Now I know CJ Stroud, for the most part, he is athletic. He can get out and scramble if he needs to, but for the most part, he likes to stay in the pocket. But when I sit here and you throw his rushing yards out there at an over 7.5, minus 114 on the over and on the under, I think that may be worth the play, guys. I'm just saying this is a good coach defensive line that he's going against. So he may have to step up and may have to tuck that thing. And this Texas O line is way improved. They have been doing a better job. But I think there's some definite value with that number right there.
All right, I like it, man. I was thinking about, because I'm pretty heavy on rushing yards this week. I like a lot of rushing yards. There's a couple receivers I'm looking at, but you guys know you need to go buy VIP for that because we got some exclusive shit going on in VIP this week that we are super excited about. At the end of the show, we will tell you guys how to purchase our VIP as a whole or individual sales that we have going on. But I was also going to bring up, obviously, Stroud here and his rushing yards. It's only at 6.5. I mean, why not? Why can't he get double than that in this game? But we're gonna stay away from that. Let's keep it pushing, man. We still got one more game to talk about here in the NFL, and then we got college football for you guys as well after we're done our NFL segment. So let's hop into our last game here for the NFL. And we're going to be looking at this Rams game playing the Detroit Lions. We all know all the hype coming around the Detroit Lions this year. And for good reason. So we got the Rams here as a, let me see, where is the game? All right. So it's the last game of the night. We got the Rams as a 4.5 point dog here. They're a plus 170 on the money line. We got the Lions at a 4.5 favorite, minus 205 on the money line. with a total of 52. This might be the highest total on the board tonight, or the in this slate. I'm pretty sure it is. I have not come across a bigger total this week for the NFL, so they're expecting this to be a higher scoring game, and I can see why. So the line actually opened up at a 51 and a half for the over under, and it opened up at a 3.5 in favor of Detroit. So I'm going exactly where my first gut instinct tells me to go, Oliver, and that is the over. It is set at this line for a reason. I'm not a fan of taking bigger spreads like this early, but let's just be real. One of these games or a couple of these games are going to be super exciting. And for Sunday night football, I can't see a better matchup for an over than the Rams and the Lions, especially with all the hype that's coming around the Lions. The over has hit in 7 of the Lions' last 10 games, bro. This was an offensive team last year that stepped up big. And I think we see it out the gate this year. The Rams and the Lions, they kind of have, if you guys really look, I mean, they kind of have they have similarities when it comes to their offense, right? I mean, you could definitely see it. They have offenses that can explode, where both defenses are honestly questionable. I mean, you got two questionable defenses here with two offenses that are just wanting to break out. The Rams, how they're going to look without Allen on the defensive line is a huge question, man. Right? Obviously, like that is a huge question. So, how much how much are the Lions really going to improve this year on defense is another question I have. I mean, they were ranked what, 23rd? I think they were ranked 23rd in points and 19th in yards last year. Like on the first on the first game of Sunday night football, with all this hype around the Lions, I am expecting this to be an offensive strategy coming from them. So I don't think they're going to let off the gas here. I'm going to rock with the over in this one. I think the Rams have just as much offensive intensity to match the Lions here. And like I said, there's too many question marks on the defensive side for me to look at either one of these teams like that. So give me the over, man. Obviously, I like the over when it opened up at the 51 and a half, 52 mark, but I'll take it here. I'll take it here at the 52.
So yeah, so Sunday night football normally has a better you in one or two spaces. You've had a really good game, and you're trying to find your little cherry on top finish to the night, or it's been a bad one, and you're just trying to find a way to, salvage the evening or something like that. So in this one, I think that 52 looks real enticing. You got another playoff matchup, that we saw that you got in week one, because we know we got the Ravens and Chiefs as the other one. And then you getting at 52. I may be on the other side here because I think everybody and their mama gonna think Sunday night we want the over, and watch this come out and be a defensive game and surprise us. You're getting at 52, but I would tell you there is one thing that I would definitely entertain. We know these teams, like, yeah, they can definitely throw the ball and whatnot, but they will pound the rock. And you got two guys that always find a nose for the damn end zone: David Montgomery, Kyron Williams. Their touchdown, they're both at a minus 143. So why don't you just parlay them? Get you a plus 189. Just saying, the boys are gonna most likely find a way into the end zone. David Montgomery, they kind of got their little thunder lightning with him and Gibbs. And when it comes down to that, if Montgomery's out there on the 2 yard line, they're gonna give it to him and put him in there. Then Kyron Williams is just a dog. He's gonna find a way to get in the zone. So I think you got some hellified value there with that. Like I said, for two dudes that always normally find a way to snip the end zone one way or another, you put them together, plus 189. And then, like I said, for me, I'd have to probably lean the under in this one, just because I think it's that late night game and everybody just see that high 52 and think it's just going to be a shootout. So that would be me.
I forgot to give a prop in this, but I am 100% behind you on the Kyrie Williams, bro. Oh my God. Like last year, bro, he has scored two or more touchdowns in each of his last 3 regular season road games against the NFC, 2 or more. Like, bro, I think that is a wonderful look here. Not only just one touchdown, give me 2 touchdowns for Williams, bro, without a doubt. I mean, he has scored at least 1 touchdown in 7 of his last 8 games. A- Against the NFC. He has recorded 101 rushing and receiving yards in his last 6 Sunday night games. So that's a really good look there. I mean, this game has Williams written all over it, bro. I'm with you 100% there. I think both teams are going to pound the rock. So, I mean, you could be right when it comes to, maybe dragging out the game a little bit here. So, I definitely could see where you're coming from. I was thinking maybe on the receiving side for the Lions, St. Brown, man. It's hard not to look at him. 90 plus receiving yards in the Lions' last 4 regular season games. He ended the season super strong. You brought up Montgomery, which is never a bad look, man. I mean, 55 plus rushing yards in 7 of the Lions' last 8 regular season games as favorites. So there's some really good looks here, man. I think this is a pretty good game for us to end Sunday night football on. All right. So that's going to end our NFL segment. We are now going to move into our 4 college football games that happen on Saturday. Maybe we should have started with college football, right? Start with the Saturday slate and then Sunday. Hey,
Yeah,
hey, the
that'd be
show.
high. It's
Yeah, this is
understood.
our first show. This is our first show. We'll get better at it, guys. We'll get better. Because we are going to do a show like this once a week. It's going to be released every Friday on our YouTube channel. So me and Oliver will be doing the Weekend Warriors every week for y'all. It will be posted on the YouTube channel every Friday. All right, so let's get into college football, man. We got some Saturday college football action. The slate looks lovely. We dominated last week, so I'm looking forward to this week, man. We called out a lot of good underdogs last week. I mean, we had the Georgia Tech underdog in that one. We had North Dakota State with the points. UNLV I gave out. We had a really decent start to college football. So I'm looking to hope we keep that running here as well. So the first game we want to talk about is no other than the Texas versus Michigan game, right? This is a very anticipated game. This is probably going to be one of the bigger bet games of the week here. It's going to be a good game, man, for real. We're getting 7.5 points with Michigan here at home. There are a plus 230 on the money line. Texas is laying 7.5 here on the road. We got a minus 285 for Texas on the money line, and we got a total of 42.5 in this one. So we know Texas won that first game. They're now 1-0. The thing that gets me, Oliver, here, and I know it's going to be tough for us to really see who's out and all that with the line and see where it really moves because me and Oliver are recording these on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So, we still got 3 days before the game starts. So we got time to really a lot can change within that time, guys. So you guys have to remember that these shows are pre-recorded. But anyway, Oliver, this line opened up as Michigan as a 1 point favorite, bro. Michigan as a 1 point favorite. They're now coming into this game as a 7.5 point underdog as Thursday evening, as we're recording this show right now. So the line opened up last week at a -1 in favor of Michigan. I gotta say, man, I do like the Longhorns here. I think I'm going to have to go with Texas in this one, even though the line is super, super sketchy to me. I don't understand the movement. I mean, there's obviously an argument that could definitely be made here for Michigan, right? It's going to be a great game. The Longhorns really outmatched the Rams across the board in week one, man. I mean, they blew them out the water. Like it wasn't even a joke. 545 total yards, bro. 355 passing. Uh that was seven that was they gathered up 7.8 yards per play in that game. You know, they had 26 first downs. Like on defense, the Longhorns only gave up 192 yards, 74 passing, 11 first downs. I mean, they only gave up 3.4 yards per play. Like they were on point, bro. Now for Michigan, they weren't exactly dominant on offense in that game. They put up 269 yards. They had 4 of 11 rate on third down. I mean, the defense held things down really well. They did. And I think that's going to be their hope here. And if they want to do anything here, I think it's got to come from Michigan's defense. They looked okay, man. But dealing with the Longhorns, that passing attack they have is going to be very, very tough to stop for a lot of teams this year. And I don't know if the Wolverines are going to be able to do that, man. Uh, so I think this is going to be a great game. It's not one of my favorite plays on the board, but this was a game we had to talk about. So if I had to pick here, man, you got to give me the Longhorns laying the points. Even though they opened up as a 1 point underdog, I still see this being a Longhorns game through and through.
So one thing that's really telling, obviously, Michigan last week looked real mediocre against Fresno State. Almost looked like, them even winning the game may be a question for a little while. And then, Texas just steamrolls, boys. And then what's really telling to me is we getting this low total. I think this is going to be an ugly, grinded out game. I mean, I just think, shit, Texas scored more points than this total last week themselves. So, I'm just saying, like, I just think that's really telling here that you get this low of a total. They think the defenses are going to come to play. And even if you look more into it and just, like, for example, so, one thing, I'll throw y'all a little game. When you see a low total, go look at the touchdowns for the game and see what the, like, juice is on touchdowns and stuff. You got Jake Blue for UT at a minus 167 to score a touchdown. Okay. Then you got Donovan Edwards, Michigan's running back, a plus 120. And then from there, you got Mulling for Michigan, a plus 160. And then you start getting into receivers. You got Bond, plus 179, so on and so on. Yeah, stuff like that makes me think this is going to probably, that under will probably get there for you. I think we see the defenses bow their necks. And obviously, it's kind of scary wanting to take a 7.5 point favorite when you messing with an under like that, because you would think at the home the dog, that sounds like that's probably gonna be the dog gonna get that cover. But I think you take the under, and we sit back and watch just the. It's gonna be one of those games you appreciate if you like, if you are really a football, perfectionist and enthusiast. You like a good defensive game. You don't like all the glitz and glamour. Just looking at it ugly in the trenches and whatnot. So I think the under would be the play for me.
All right, all right. Yeah, man. Like I said, a tough game, very tough game to start the day, but it's one we had to talk about for college football this week. Guys, the college football slate this week is not as glamorous as it was last week. There are some really tough matchups, but definitely some value out there. All right. So Oliver, our next game that we have on the board tonight, for us is, I believe, me and you wanted to talk about the South Carolina playing Kentucky. We do have a bit of a spread here on this one, which I know you were, kind of appalled to. You were kind of appalled to see at a 10. I know you're telling me that you were leaning South Carolina here. So we do have South Carolina on the road in this one, opening up as a 10-point dog. Well, no, not opening up as a 10-point dog. They actually, yeah, they did. They opened up as a 10-point dog. So the line has not moved at all yet. We have a plus 280 on the money line. Kentucky's laying 10 points here at home. We got a total of 42 and a half here. I mean, I'm liking Kentucky here. I am. I think we go with the home favorite here. I mean, look, man, South Carolina really did. I mean, when you struggle to put away Old Dominion in that first game, it kind of made me scratch my head a bit about this team. They looked like their best quarter was third. They were in control of the third quarter, up and down. They looked great, but I I mean they weren't able to make enough plays, man. And honestly, I mean, yes, they got the win, so they were able to make enough for the win. But I still don't like what I've seen. The way they could have put that game away, they didn't, and that's my problem. Then you got Kentucky, who was able to absolutely smash the dog shit out of them boys. I mean, what was it? They played Southern Miss. I don't think Southern Miss scored a damn lick of a point. It was 31-0 against Southern Miss. Kentucky, they had to deal with that weather delay, so that plays a bit of effect. But I mean, they outgained Southern Miss by a total of 317 to 131. I mean, they forced two turnovers. I mean, they look great on every aspect of the ball. Kentucky looked great. Now I know we're talking about Kentucky versus Southern Miss, but still, that is what I would like to have seen from South Carolina, put an Old Dominion away like that if they were really going to live up to the hype they were or they're supposed to this year. I think the Gamecocks should have came with a little more of a statement than what they did. I need to see better quarterback play from the Gamecocks before I am going to, consider backing them against a team like Kentucky, who is just looked great out the gate. So we'll see what happens. This is a big spread here, but I am going to lay the 10 points with Kentucky in this one, Oliver.
Yeah, I feel you. I ain't mad at you, but it's just with me. I think South Carolina is one of these basically like Old Dominion. Anytime they play a power four opponent, they always give boys a game. I think last year they played Virginia Tech, and I think they beat them outright, if I recall. I think it was like a 20-point dog, and they always give boys a game. And I think if you South Carolina, you may have been looking ahead. Like we got SEC play next week. Let's get through this game. And they kind of went through the motions, and Old Dominion gave them boys a game. And now you're a 10-point dog on the road. I think you get some recency bias on how South Carolina looked. And now you got Kentucky, who, I mean, smacked Southern Miss. I mean, Southern Miss ain't finna really be about much this year. It's not the Frank Gore Jr. show over there no more. He went to the league. But yeah, so I think South Carolina has all the value to me. I think this is a step up game for them to realize, okay, we're against competition now. We can't come out here half stepping. So I think you could look at South Carolina first half. You could probably look the full game and get you a little money line sprinkle. I think the Gamecocks come or something. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, all right, all right. So we're going to be on opposite sides on this one as well. But hey, man, we can't be agreeing on everything here. That's what we're here for.
Just would
Um,
not be right.
yep. We'll see what happens in this one, man. It's another good game, man. All right. So yeah, I really ain't got nothing else on this one, man. I'm gonna stand my ground. You make some really good points for South Carolina. This is a team that is expected to have a decent year. And I would have just liked to see more from them opening up against, a team like Old Dominion that I really think they should have just really put away.
One more thing, as far
Yeah,
as
go
a
ahead.
prop, Raheem Sanders to score a touchdown at plus 160. Yeah, sign me up for South Carolina. Sign me up.
I don't think that's bad at all. It's very hard for me to get college football props, man. I hate it. All right, let's move on. I think we got two more games to talk about in college football for y'all. This next game, uh, we're getting into the later slates now. We got Tennessee playing North Carolina State today for y'all. So we got Tennessee. They are coming in as a let me see here. They're coming in as a 10-point favorite in this game, where you got NC State coming in as a 10-point dog at plus 270 on the money line. And we got, looks like Tennessee is a minus 340 on the money line for this game, man. We got a total of 60 and a half. So a pretty high total here, but I think for good reason, Oliver. When I can't really necessarily get on a side, everything in me wants to take NC State with the points. I really do. You know, but I'm a little worried about their defense. And honestly, that's what gets me here to the over. I think the over is a really good look in this game. It opened up at a 60 and a half. We're not seeing much movement. I like that. Tennessee and NC State are both going to absolutely come out here with their foot on the gas, bro. NC State's defense wasn't exactly great in that first game. And honestly, when you're going against a much better offense in Tennessee, well, I think you're going to struggle a bit more. You know, I mean, I think we're going to see both guys have a huge game here. You know, I do expect Grayson McCall. I think he's going to put on a show, bro. His arm is fucking crazy. Like I like this guy a lot. I think he's got a lot of potential. You know, I really do think that we just see an absolute shootout between these two teams. You look at Tennessee in the first game; they absolutely dominated Chattanooga, bro. They were able to get a 69-3 win. You know, you look at NC State, man. They honestly, bro, they were tested. Them boys were tested. I mean, Western Carolina, you know, gave them nothing easy. You know, gave them nothing easy. The offense, they had to put up 21 points in the fourth quarter to even get the win. You know, so I think they're going to come out and not want to try to get put in that same situation. So I think they come out with more of an offensive attack here. I like Grayson McCall a lot, bro. You know, he got a slow start with NC State. But I think he got it out the way. You know what I mean? He got them jitters out the way. I mean, we've really seen him turned up late, right? Like I said, 21 points in the fourth. Like when it was time to really get down to business, he showed up, bro. And I think that's what happens. I think he's going to get comfortable the more the season goes on. And I think we're going to see NC State get better. And I think we're going to see McCall get better as the year progresses. So, I mean, this is going to be a very tough game for them as well. But I can see him meeting the challenge here. And I think he's going to go yard for yard. So give me the over here. I think we see an absolute shootout.
Yeah, I think we could definitely see some points in this one. I just think you got NC State at the crib. Obviously, you just had a subpar performance. I think you take them points with NC State early in the first half, and then also Concepcion, that receiver, anytime touchdown is a -126. Yeah, I think that is definitely a go.
All right, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game, bro. I think you could probably, if you guys do have the ability to get points in this one, look for passing yards, stuff like that. If your book offers you play college player props, you know, I would go with Oliver's touchdown prop and maybe look at some passing yards for either quarterback. Because I think you're going to see it. I really do. They got playmakers. Both guys got arms. I mean, you could definitely see both guys get their passing yards in this game. All right, last game of the night. We got Boise State taking on Oregon, man. These Oregon Ducks got a lot to prove this year. There is a lot of hype coming around Oregon, man, and I am very interested to see the rest of their season. You know, after opening up, they defeated Idaho 24-14. I was expecting, you know, Oregon to look like the Monstars out there, you know, as much hype that was coming around them. But I mean, they look good. This is another game that looks, you know, pretty tough for me, man, just because I'm not necessarily comfortable laying these points against Boise. So you got Oregon at home here laying 21. The line moved just in that few minutes that we were talking about this game, Oliver. It's at now at a 21. You got Boise State getting 21 points here. We got a total of 60 and a half, where Oregon is a minus 1200 money line, and you got Boise State as plus 750. So I'm kind of leaning Boise here. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, yes, Oregon comes into this game as a huge favorite at home for a reason. But I'm sorry, they need to play a hell of a lot better offensively if they want to not only cover this spread, but win this game. If you want to be competitive here against Boise, you better look better than you did in that first game. Boise State, they scored a ton of points in their first game. And I don't think they're going to look as good as they did, but they are going to put up a fight. Okay? It's what Boise does. They will put up a fight. I will still I still think they're going to put up more than a few scoring drives. Boise. All right. So Oregon's going to have a much better offensive game than what they had in that first one. You know, after we seen, and then you seen Georgia Southern score on Boise State as well. So, I mean, it ain't like Boise State's defense is coming in here like some damn juggernauts, neither. So I think the over is a perfect look in this game as well. It's actually went down. This total opened up as a 61 and a half. So it actually went down a bit. So I think we're going to go with the over here. And Oliver, I'm actually leaning Boise State here. I think this is way too many points.
I ain't gonna lie, the fact that you said that total dropped, I think this one could go the other way and get nasty. I think we see plenty of points, but it could be from Oregon because I feel like Oregon just had a huge like, yeah, you won the game, cool, but you really in a situation where everybody was really expecting you to take off. I'm kind of wanting to mess with Oregon early. You get in the first half number at like a minus 11 and a half. So that's not what we call one of your quote unquote football numbers. So, like a 3, 7, a 10, it's an 11 and a half. So it's basically you need to be up at least two, damn near two touchdowns or three possessions, however you want to look at it, touchdown, extra point, two field goals, something like that. But I think it can be done because Boise got out the gate for it 14-0 against Georgia Southern. And I think at halftime it was like 28-16. So I just think this may be one of those where Boise, this isn't the Boise of past where, they're really dominant and whatnot. And I think this may be one of those where you see that plus 20 with Boise, and normally, normal circumstances, you like, oh yeah, Boise a big underdog? Oh, for sure. Time's a little different now. And I think Dylan Gabriel knows, like, hey, he done bounced all over the world. Was at UCF, was at OU. Now he's here. But, I mean, he's here for a reason. He had a good game. It's just he didn't fill it up as far as the touchdowns. He had all the yards in the world, everything. And I would say this will be one of those games. I don't even think I'm getting this prop on my book right now. But I'm gonna try to look on some other, maybe dive into prize picks or something to see if we can get something. But I think Dylan Gabriel's passing TDs probably gonna go over whatever the line is. He just had two last week, if I recall correctly. He had like 400 some yards passing. So I think this may be the week where them boys really run it up. So even if you can maybe get an Oregon team total over something like that, but I think Oregon's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, he passed for 380 yards and two touchdowns last week. But I've seen a lot of success from Oregon, honestly, out of Jordan James. I mean, he went for 95 yards and two touchdowns on 15 carries, bro. So maybe if you guys are getting any Jordan James props, maybe take his rushing yards, man. That could be a good look. I'm sure they're going to have him probably around like 40, somewhere around there. I bet you that's a really good look here for Jordan James. It looks like that's where a lot of their success came from. So maybe they might pound the rock even more here. Um, all right, I love it, man. I like Gabriel's passing yards as well. I don't think that's a bad look. I mean, we know Dylan Gabriel is not a bad quarterback. He's got good, and if he's got weapons, they kind of should be as hyped up as they are. They should be. It's just, do we see that? Do we see that progression through the year? I hope we do, because a lot of people say Oregon can win it all. So I just got to see something better than what I seen last week. All right, guys, that's all we got for college football and for the NFL Weekend Warrior Show. Me and Oliver will bring you the show every single week. It will be released on YouTube every Friday. Um, Me, Oliver, and Takeoff are obviously a part of the OutletSV.com. The show is brought to you by the OutletSV.com. And we actually got a promo going for VIP for all NFL season. You guys can get myself, Oliver, and Takeoff for $200 all NFL season. That includes all soccer, all NFL, all college football, all sports. These are myself, Oliver, and Takeoff are our three top cappers at the outlet. You will have access to our group chat, meaning our group text. If you want to be a part of it, you'll have access to me, Oliver, and Takeoff 24/7. We're right there by your side all NFL season long. You need help building a parlay, you need help with a straight bet, you can ask us anything that's on your mind any time of the day. We are there to help you through the entire NFL season. You guys will get our collectively as a group pick each day. And you guys get all sports with this deal. So you really can't beat it. It's the best promo we have ever gave out at the outlet. So I'm super excited to see people take advantage and really get on board with us here. We both do sell separate packages as well. I'm running a buy one get one free deal right now. If you buy just my picks alone, it's $30 a month, and you get a month free as a new member. So if you're a new member signing up and you just want the Plugs VIP package, it's $30 for 2 months. Oliver, what do you got going on right now as well?
Um, Basically the same situation as you. The two months, $30. If you just want me, and also if you want just my picks throughout the end of the NFL season, that's 100 for me, just me with everything. And I had some people that have already inquired and have signed up, and they be like, "Bro," I'm like, "Yeah," because a lot of what I do is I get you with a lot of international basketball, some stuff you probably not even thinking about, but just put the bet in. I got you. Like I'm a basketball junkie, so that's what I'm saying. Obviously, you get through the NFL season, but then you're gonna get down there almost half of the NBA season with me. NFL, love college football, but NBA, that's my bread maker. That's my money maker. Any basketball, that's my money maker. So you getting great. It's you can't. It's a great deal. You're not missing out. I mean, you really are missing out if you're not buying in. I mean, Takeoff already. We've been sitting here, and I got a couple notifications. He didn't cash some soccer plays while we've been sitting here on the show.
I got the same notifications.
Yeah, and it's a daily thing, bro. And like I said, you're not gonna get that kind of deal and then have the access to us as you do as well. Like I said, there's plenty of people that have my number, can reach out, hit my DMs, ask questions. Like I'm gonna respond. I may be busy working or doing something, but when I got that freedom, I'm gonna definitely hit you up. So, man, we just want y'all to cash out. There's too many people football here. They go crazy. They be losing. Give us some winners, bro. We do our due diligence, and I'm not gonna say we're gonna win 100% of the time, but we're gonna win a lot more than we lose. And we're transparent. We don't hide. If we down, we down. If we hitting, we hitting. So get at us.
Yep, we got a lot going on, man. I'm super excited about this year. We're only growing, and that's the best thing. As much we were challenged a lot throughout the year, but this is it's coming to be the best time of year, man. We got NFL, college football. Next thing you know, college basketball is here in the NBA. I mean, guys, it's no better of a time to have a team behind your back. Honestly, that is the one thing the sports books are scared of. When you guys think when you look online and you see all these bigger guys betting online, do you think they're not a part? You ever hear of a betting syndicate? That's exactly what this is. It's a team. There's always a team of successful bettors, and that is facts. I don't care who you are. I don't care if all them big groups in Vegas, that's what they are. They're groups. It is groups of guys who beat the books. That's how you do it. The books are scared of teams. They are. When you gang up on the books, they don't like that, man. If they find out that you're part of a syndicate or a betting group, you will get denied from DraftKings, FanDuel. you'll get denied from them books very, very quickly. So trust me, man, the best way to lock in with a group is through a team effort. It is the best way to beat the books, and I promise you, you can't go wrong this time of year. So lock in with us, man. I do this all day. So this is what I do all day, and we're just here to help y'all. So like I said, $200 for the NFL season. You can't beat it, man. I advise you guys to hop on board as soon as you can, and just email us at the outletsv23 at gmail.com. You can find us on all social medias. You'll see it here in the end where you can contact us. Just hit us up, ask questions, and let's see if you're the right fit for our program. Because our service is legit. We have track records that go back for a while. Just I'm telling y'all, getting in with the team is the way to go this season. All right, Oliver. We'll be back next Thursday, guys. Or well, next Friday we'll drop the show. Me and Oliver are bringing you guys the Weekend Warriors show. Every week for the whole NFL season, we'll come on here and give you 8 games, 4 in NFL, 4 in college football every week. We're super excited about this. The show's going to get better as the weeks go on. Hopefully you guys tune in, man. Share with a friend. Hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you guys next week. Oliver, see you later, man. I appreciate you coming, man. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys next week for another show of Weekend Warriors.
Blinko Blank.